Hi guys! I think right now the most noticeable thing about me is the mark on my forehead. And anybody who reads the Zoe Redbird series of books will know exactly what that means. No, I'm not a vampire, not quite. But today, well, technically yesterday because it's gone midnight, anyway, Friday, 7th of August 2009, I met PC and Kristin Cast, aka the authors of the House of Night series of books. Cue fangirl scream. I met them at an event in Waterstones York and it was absolutely fantastic, which is why I thought I would draw a mark on my forehead. In fact, I was on the front row and PC, when she came out, she noticed it and she went, so she's very pleased about that. Anyway, I think the first thing that I'd like to do is show you some footage of the day. Bear in mind, I took this footage on my camera phone, which isn't the best of cameras, and I kind of had it sort of on my legs that it wasn't obvious I was recording them, so they're not the best images. I'm sorry, I apologise. Okay. So one of the first things that they let slip was not about their next book, Tempted, which is out in October, but about the 7th book, Burned.
I just wrote the first line of Burned, book 7, right before I came over here, and we just got back from a lovely, lovely research trip in the Highlands. So Zoe and the crew are coming over here. Well, they're actually coming to the Highlands.
Yeah, not here, but...
Yeah. And
yeah,
you'll see. Can't tell you why though. Can't tell you why.
Yes, that's right. Zoe Redbird and friends are coming to the UK, to Scotland. The next thing they talked about is the possibility of there being a film of the House of Night series.
People always ask about the movie. Yes, it's been optioned, but it's been optioned for about 2 years. Michael Birnbaum at Empire Pictures. He has hired a screenwriter, and they're working on a script right now. I don't know anything about, we talk, but I don't know if it's going to ever really be made into a movie. I'm not going to have, no, you can't email me and send me pictures and say, I'd be perfect for Zoe. Please put me in your movie.
But I would be perfect for Zoe.
No, because it's not my movie. No, I can't. I don't have anything to do with that.
Oh well, never mind. Oh, about the film, I know there's a lot of rumours on the internet and somewhere says that Megan Fox is reported to play Zoe, but they actually didn't mention anything to do with casting or so I can't tell you any more about that. Of course, one of the questions they always get asked is, who is Zoe going to end up with?
Okay, look.
She doesn't need mommy face.
Zoe is too young to choose her one love forever when she's 17. And how I say in America is she can't even vote yet. She certainly isn't mature enough to choose one young lad, okay? Zoe needs to be more mature than to choose one guy. I think that it's not a healthy role model for teenage girls to believe that their lives cannot possibly go on if they don't have one boy they love forever, and if he's absent, then they can barely put one foot in front of another. I don't like that, okay? I think it's a bad role model.
What this means is that
Zoe won't be like that.
She's going to be like
We haven't decided because Zoe hasn't decided.
Another thing about Zoes Boys that they spoke about, which I didn't get on camera, is that somebody asked them who their favourite boys were, and Kristin says that she prefers Heath, and PC said that initially she preferred Eric, but right now she likes Stark, but that it took a lot to get that out of. They also revealed a bit more information about Tempted.
I will tell you that in Tempted, we changed some points of view.
Zoe's point of view.
You get a lot of Zoe's point of view still.
Yeah.
But
Stevie Ray's point of view, Aphrodite,
Heath, and Stark.
And then some other character.
And then a character that
we can't tell you
you can't tell you because of the
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who is that mystery character they just mentioned? I think I might know after something they let slip, but I didn't get it on video, and you know what? I'm not going to tell you. Next they did something that I didn't know they were going to do, but it was quite a pleasant surprise. They read to us the first, I think it was the first 2 chapters of Tempted. Apparently, we are the first group that they've read it to, so I'm quite proud to be part of that group. And you know what? I think I might have got a bit of it on video for you.
Do you want to hear Tempted first, or do you want to ask me questions? Ask questions.
I love really Tempted.
Do you want to hear Tempted? Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's
On the computer.
editor people, Little Brown.
With the computer,
I'm reading on the computer. We don't even have it. It's here. As a matter of fact, as I'm reading, this will be the first time I've read it out loud, and this will be the first time I've read it since I rewrote it for the last time. Thank God. So I might find mistakes in here, and I have not read this. Kristin and I, when we do this, this is how unplanned this part was, because we were finally just like, let's give them a secret, and let's just read some of it to them. When we usually do this, it's planned well in advance. We practice.
Because I'm a really bad reader out louder.
And I'm a good reader out loud.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was, well, a teacher forever. And usually she reads all of Zoe's point of view, and I use voices and do all the other characters. That we won't be doing this now because she's a bad sight reader louder. I will probably not be as good as normal because
She can't see very well.
I can see right. I can see just fine now. Thank you. Okay, so we all know where Hunted ends up, right? Kelowna was just banished by love, or like we say in the States, love. And they're all outside, and Zoe had just looked up at the crescent moon, right? And saw the crescent moon from the goddess. And they're all, this is how we say it in Oklahoma, all hell is breaking loose. That translates?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. And that's exactly where we are. This is like 2.5 seconds later. Because I just wrote one, took a breath, and jumped right into the next one. Just to drive y'all crazy.
Was that mean of me? I think it might have been. But you know what? You will have to wait till October with everyone else to read the book. But I promise you it's so engaging right from the very first page. I mean, they've done a fantastic job with the first few pages that PC read to us. I'm really quite excited. So after PC had read Tempted, they opened up the floor so that we could ask questions to them. And I asked the first question, which was, I asked them about all the Cherokee legends that they've got mixed in, and sort of where they come from and how realistic they are, because obviously, being from England, I don't know any Cherokee legends. They said that Kelowna isn't actually a Cherokee legend, but the Ravenmockers are, and there is this, I think it's a museum in Oklahoma near where they live, and it's full of old sort of Cherokee legends. I think that's what they said. And apparently she runs everything by them to make sure what she's writing isn't too sort of mad. But she basically said that she sort of gets all her rituals and myth ideas from sort of Cherokee and Wicca and Pagan, and she sort of smushes them together into her own world, which was quite good. I also asked about why they chose for Zoe to lose her virginity to Lauren, and so early. And PC actually said it was a good question, and it allowed her to get up on her mum's soapbox. And they basically said that it's sort of a warning to how, in the real world, like Zoe, Lauren goes after her, Lauren being an adult vampire, and he's a predator, and that happens to teenage girls, and they wanted to show that things like that can happen, and to sort of, almost like a warning in how you should be very wary of things like that, because predators, they make you feel special like Lauren did, and how Zoe made a bad mistake and she had to face up to the consequences of it, and she nearly lost all her friends and so on. I thought it was a really good thing, because of all the books I've read, none of them have dealt with sort of predators going after teenagers and warnings for them, so I thought that was really good of them.